we are back on ttalk Boond Soch with a series of an episode with Dr. Kaustubh Sontakke, who is an author and the finance expert. It's a great, interesting insight what we had on in our first episode. Gold medalist in MCOM from Mumbai University and also an author of an 10 books. Sir, welcome back to this ttalk Boond Soch. Now for our target audience, you went ahead with your journey step by step. So can you narrate about your PhD experience? How you went ahead with the research work like?
Yeah, so definitely I would love to share the experiences during PhD in both the PhDs, I will say. As I mentioned earlier also, that after my post-graduation and 2 years experience, I thought that I need to get more into the depth of the subject, and the solution was to get into research. So I pursued MPhil, that is Masters of Philosophy, which is the master's level research oriented degree. And my topic on that was bank assurance, which was a hot topic in those days, in around 2004-05. And I completed that. That gave me idea into what is research, how to pursue it, what are the tools, techniques, etc. And then that equipped me to go for even further studies, and that is PhD. So I started with PhD in management, and again, topic selection was one of the biggest challenge that first I had. I got a very good PhD guide, Dr. G.Y. Shitole sir, and I met him and I discussed a few topics with him. He used to reject my topics outright. With his great experience, he understood and foresee that I may face problems in future if I take up those topics. But yes, then finally we came to consensus and got a hot topic for pursuing my PhD. That was business process outsourcing with the angle of cost reduction and resources optimization. My guide sir liked the topic very much, and we decided to pursue it further.
I think that was a hot topic during that particular time,
correctly
BPO concept was there,
Yes, 2004 ending, when people were knowing BPO means call center, not beyond.
Correct.
So going beyond that, do what you do best and outsource the rest. That was a punchline. And that is how even I understood that you can outsource anything and everything and you can still go much better. So how do they do it? And from my finance area angle, then how does this concept leads to cost reduction and resources optimization? That was my study, and I pursued it. I still remember when I used to go to the university for my PhD presentations. The people sitting there, the panelists, they used to listen to me, and often they used to call me BPO wala.
Okay.
That was kind of identity I gained through this topic. And yes, with the grace of God and hard work and sincerity and the consistency, I completed my first PhD in the field of management with the topic which I mentioned in the year 2007 at the age of my 27.
Oh, you were 27 at that time?
I was 27 at that time.
Okay. Now for the benefit of a ttalk audience, I'm sure अगर आपका गुरु अच्छा है, you had a guide Dr. G.Y. Shitole, शिष्य वैसा ही मतलब है, I'm sure he will go on his guidelines and he navigated through the entire research process. Now for the benefit of a target audience, can you share the structure of a research which you have followed during your tenure?
Okay. It was a structured research, again, I got the guidance from sir. I kept on pursuing, and the journey started with drafting a research proposal. So that was the first step where I'm going to propose the research. And Shitole sir very rightly told me that whatever you're proposing to do in next 2 to 3 years, you have to be very careful and very minute in your understanding and thinking and proposing that, so that when you actually do it, you will not face difficulty.
Correct.
So that was the first step where the research proposal was drafted, yes, at least 4 to 5 times, modified, and finally submitted to the university, got it approved, and then proceeded further. I still remember a continuous follow-up, continuous study of the topic, the review of literature, the study of previous research areas, and a number of other things were simultaneously going on. Yes, credit goes to Shitole sir again, is to keep on motivating me and keep on asking for what is next.
Nice.
And that used to give me motivation that yes, tomorrow I need to show this work done to sir. So I used to do it and give it to sir. So that whole thing, by consistency and keeping on doing, and finally I reached to the level that the study was complete, and I was on the stage of writing thesis.
I see.
Again, a big challenge.
Yeah.
Because it's a thesis.
Correct.
And you have to put at one place everything that you have done. So yes, with his guidance, I kept on doing. My thesis was accordingly ready. I still remember one thing was guide sir and me, we read the entire thesis line by line to find out the logical sequencing, the contents, and even to point out if there are any mistakes.
Correct.
And that actually, he used to say that, this is like your baby. Once it is produced, then you can't do anything. So before that, only take care of everything. So we did it, and that yielded the result.
I see. So on this ttalk platform, I would like to reveal, like as rightly said, the leaders creates more leader. As he had his guru, as far the research guide was concerned, Dr. G.Y. Shitole was his guide first, and then I'm sure under his guidance, he had completed his research work. Now I would like to reveal on this ttalk Boond Soch platform, where I was also a student of G.Y. Shitole, and we're looking at how this Dr. Kaustubh Sontakke was nurtured. He was young at that time. Maybe what was your age at that time?
I was 25, 26.
So he was 25, 26. I said the best thing is that to follow him and see the process, the way he had gone ahead with the research structure. I followed that pattern of going ahead with the research, worked out on those bases, and I'm sure, I think, followed by his PhD, I could complete my PhD in a structured way. Again, the credit goes to Dr. G.Y. Shitole, who had nurtured us in a systematic way, who had made our base foundation much stronger. And I'm sure the credit should also go to Dr. Kaustubh Sontakke, who was next to me while my PhD journey. And that's what, many a times I also try and benchmark him. If I have said he had gone out with the 10 books, at least I've gone out with the 9 books. So I think that's what this ttalk platform is all about, where I think it's management by wandering around. You listen from the experts, how they have gone in a disciplined way in the entire journey, and I'm sure the end result is going to be good. Okay, fine. Dr. Kaustubh, what motivates you to the next PhD that in accountancy? So what was the driver behind that?
Yeah. So yes, it was 2008, from 7 ending or 8, I completed my first PhD, and then also I would like to tell you that I graduated from the college where my principal of the college, Dr. S.T. Gadde sir, again credit goes to him. There is a lot of guidance he gave me in this entire journey of education and research. He was principal, and I was a student in that college, being one of the toppers. He knew me, and I worked also in the college where he was a principal for some time. So thereafter, in 2009, he was a PhD guide in the accountancy from University of Mumbai. And I, being in the field of accounting, the first PhD which I pursued was in the field of management. The specialization was finance. And accountancy being again very close to my heart, I decided to approach Gadde sir and pursue my next PhD and that too from University of Mumbai.
Mhm.
Probably that was the first time University of Mumbai also started with the PhD in accountancy as the subject.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in the very first batches of this PhD, I got registered in 2009 and under Garde sir, who had a confidence in me that I'll be able to do, as I knew the process, but the field and the subject was new. So I pursued PhD in accountancy and followed the same consistency, same dedication towards the research, and tried to complete it. One more important thing was I was teaching accounting. Yes, the point was, why many times people ask me why second PhD. So even during my first PhD and also in case of my second PhD, the point was pursuing research, trying to add something logically and valuable thing to the existing body of knowledge in those areas, and to share that with the students community with whom I was in continuous touch. And also I experienced one important thing in me is just learning the thing is one, but learning things for teaching to the students was a fun.
Correct.
So that gave me a lot of motivation,
Yes.
and I continued with the research, continued with the studies, and kept on sharing with the students.
Good, great. Those are excellent insights what we're getting from Dr. Kaustubh Sontakke, how you went ahead with the entire research structure. And if you're having a guide who are really watching on you and taking to a right direction, base foundations are made, you have to work hard, but you can benchmark any of and best practices and can work towards that. And it's a great insights as for the research journey which was concerned of Dr. Kaustubh Sontakke, what we have seen exclusively on ttalk Boond Soch. Do catch up with Dr. Kaustubh Sontakke on our next episode of ttalk. Till then, go to www.ttalk.net, subscribe and like the channel as much as you can. So thanks a lot for being part of this show. Thank you very much.